Hello everyone, it's Phil Jones and I am in the Elite Screens booth with Jaime. Jaime, how are you?
I'm good, Phil. How about you?
Good. And you're actually showing one new material in two different applications in your booth right now, right?
Exactly, Phil. Yeah, so we have launched the new DarkUST 3, which is an ultra short throw projecting screen material for front projection. And yeah, it has the ability to absorb 85% of ambient light from overhead sources. So it's an ambient light rejecting material.
So if you're looking in here, you don't have a lot of light control.
Exactly.
But the images look quite bright and vibrant in the space, and using a couple of the new Epson Pro version of their USTs in here, and it looks really amazing. Tell me a little bit more about the material and how many different ways I can get this material.
Okay, so this new material, as you can see here, we have a floor pull-up version, which conveniently sets up and pulls up with a telescope pole. Set it up, height adjustment however you need it to be. And this can go 103 inch up to 123 inch.
Okay.
And the next one over there is a portable folding frame, which comes in a very small, convenient bag. And the sizes that we were able to make in that one is 126, 138, and 150.
Okay, so if you want it really, really large, the frame one's the way to go.
Exactly.
Now, I will say that there's plus and minuses to both, right? When it comes to speed of setup, the uprising manual is going to be significantly faster.
Exactly.
In order to get it up, but the length of the case is bigger, so you have to take that into account. So now you do have a case that's about 7 feet long,
somewhere around there.
6-7 feet long. So you got not very heavy, but it is kind of a longer thing you got to take into account for shipping. Versus the frame based one, the case is actually not as long, but it does take more time to assemble the frame. But you're talking 2 minutes over here and 10 minutes over there.
10 minutes over there. It literally does take about 10 minutes, maybe 5 once you get used to it, because it just unfolds. You just stretch the material, snap it on, and attach the legs, and you're good to go. The rest is just the setup of the projector.
The other thing too about the frame is because it's a tighter tension, so you have less worry about any kind of waves and ripples, which are really noticeable on a UST projector.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, so in addition to these that we're showcasing here, because this industry is calling for more portability, and as the ultra short throw market continues to demand more bigger sizes and not just fixed frames and drop down and flow rising electrics, they've also asked us to make portable, quicker solutions such as these. So we also make them in the typical standard drop and the flow risers and the fixed frames up to 150 inch as well.
Yeah, so just lots of flexibility, and as the projectors get brighter and brighter, the ability to utilize them in spaces where you would normally not think you can utilize one of these screens and a projection system is starting to change. Because we're talking about ultra short throw projectors now at 5,000 ANSI lumens, and before, a couple years ago, 5,000 ANSI lumen projector was a front firing thing about the size, a huge projector.
Big microwave or something.
Exactly. So as the projectors get brighter and having the light rejection properties, it seems to be a great combination.
Exactly, and that's exactly what several of these customers that are coming to see these products are all great. You have this solution now, and now I can travel with it for trade shows as well, and for training purposes. A lot of schools have come and said, hey, I didn't know that you guys had this solution. Great, I can use this. I don't have to have a very long throw distance just to get a big image for our needs.
You put the projector in a cart or some sort of transportable way. You especially the uprising, you can move this into a classroom and set up in a classroom for to watch some movies or some content or do in a few minutes, and that would be great if you're like an IT person at a higher education or even in a high school classroom or things like that.
Exactly, and so for even churches have came by and said, "Oh, perfect! This is great for our
the classrooms,
services in classrooms and whatever need they have."
Okay, so what's the material on this one again?
The DarkUST 3.
Okay, so let me ask you this: you guys have different levels of material.
Yes.
How do you determine which material, when it comes to ultra short throw, is the best material for the application?
Well, you have the typical matte whites, which require light control, and they accept light from a projector in all directions. They're not lenticular, so you can use a ultra short throw, ceiling mounted, no problem. Whereas these here, they have a dedicated sawtooth structure, which can only be used with ultra short throw projectors from a bottom placed installation point. And so the matte white is a universal material that everybody uses, but along come the challenges of getting a washed out image when you're trying to use it in a training facility or in a bright lit environment.
What's the light rejection on this unit again?
This one has 85%.
So it rejects 85%
of overhead light.
Overhead lighting. So when you compare that to a piece of matte white material, it becomes dramatically noticeable.
Exactly. Yeah. So the black levels completely get washed out. All the darker colors, you can't make them out. The reds turn pink. The blacks turn grayish. So yeah, the picture quality just degrades the contrast.
Yeah, the loss of contrast. So that 85% makes a massive improvement in visual contrast.
Absolutely, yes it does.
Okay. And what's the gain on this?
That would be a 0.85.
0.85. So you lose a little bit of brightness, but these projectors have a lot of it.
Yes.
And especially to gain the boost, the massive boost in contrast that you're going to get by having much better black levels.
Exactly, and because the throw distance is so short, the light doesn't have to travel as much, and you lose some of that.
Exactly. What's the angle?
It's 170 degree viewing angle,
which is very, very good.
Yeah.
Because even if you look at this camera that we're looking at here, I'm looking at this from a pretty extreme angle, and there's very little loss of brightness.
Exactly. So yeah, we've developed this new material with a PVC base backing, whereas before it would be either TPU or PET, which limited us to only 123 or 125. Now that we're able to print this sawtooth structure on a PVC based material, we're able to go even bigger.
Okay, so bigger sizes than what you could do in the past.
Exactly.
Okay, and like I said, the original ultra short throws were also rigid screens.
Yeah.
And now they're flexible enough for you to roll them up, put them in a small case, or uprise them, or floor or ceiling motorized, and also the things you can do with it now. So a lot more flexibility with the material. Time for me to upgrade my UST screen in my lab with something like this.
Something like that. That's quick and easy to do.
I know. It's amazing. Let's just talk about the industry in general.
Okay.
You know, because as I roam around, I see your screens in a lot of different booths, and I see everything from ambient light rejecting, ceiling light rejecting, matte white. So how would I say this? And can you talk a little about this company in general, because you have part of the company is tailored to the average consumer, part of it's tailored to the custom integrator, part of it's tailored to the professional, on top of the different screen solutions.
Correct. Yeah. So we have Elite Screens, which is the main brand that caters to the retail and the .com. And we have a variety of projection screens and surfaces that cater, like you said, but more towards the end user, and they're more attainable. And then we have the Elite ProAV version, which is the one that we're showcasing here, which is caters to the government sector, the government, educational, house of worship, hospitality, and so forth. And so these come with more in a longer warranty period, and they're specialized materials and specialized products for that sector.
And kind of built with the mindset of someone who's going to have to put it up and break it down multiple times.
You know, we're just trying to make sure that we have the solutions for them, because like as ultra short throw projectors get bigger and they're able to get more brightness levels, we're able to offer solutions such as this, so that they're not left behind and trying to find the typical matte white solution that washes out the images.
Well, that's a good point, because if you think about it, even if you look at even in this industry, and the consumer side, 100, it used to be once you get past about 75, a bigger flat panel was cost prohibitive.
Exactly.
Then it went to 85. Then it went to 100. So now you can get a 100-inch screen for under 3K, but how do you move it? How do you mount it? Just the transportation of it is just a pain. And then when you go beyond that, it's still, forget about it. It's almost like this curve where it's like, if you look at the projector, it's like, at this, to say this is 60, it's 60 inches, 70 inches, 80 inches, 100 inches, and it just goes like this. And all of a sudden now, after you get past about 120 inches, if you look at just cost per inch, the projected way for a lot of applications is still the better way to go.
Exactly, and that's what a lot of the customers that have came and asked us, hey, we don't want to go and get a folding LCD solution because you still have to lug this big ATH stage crate, and it's just hard and cumbersome to get to an elevator or whatever. And yeah, like you mentioned, the cost just skyrockets. Whereas this bundle, for example, that's a $34.99 projector, and the screen is $800.
Yeah.
So that's less than $5,000.
Yeah. So if you're someone that wants to quickly set up a large immersive image, whether it's in a trade show, a wedding, or anything like that, it's amazing the picture you can actually get.
Yes, and a lot of actually customers that came by, they take a look at this and the big LCD solutions, and they compare them, and they're like, wow, they look almost identical, except I can break it down and take it with me conveniently. So really, really cool piece. Excited to have the opportunity to test some of this material and review it in the future. So Jaime, it's good seeing you again. Same here.
And it's cool to see your new material, and hopefully I have a chance to play with it a little bit more in the future. So to find out more about the offerings that you're providing this industry, like companies that are going to come to InfoComm, where should they go?
They can go to www.EliteProAV.com.
Okay. So take care, everyone, and we will talk to you soon.
Thank you.